Can I move now to the Maules Creek coalmine approval? Can the department table a copy of the independent review into the offsets issue? Thank you, folk.
James Strigath, Senator. Assistant Secretary, South East Australia Environmental Assessments. The department's under condition 10 of the Maules Creek approval. The proponent is required to provide the minister with verification through independent review of the quantity and condition class of the box gum woodland and ecological communities before the 30th of December 2013.
Yeah, and that was provided on the 27th?
That report was provided on the 27th of December. Pardon me?
Sorry to cut you off, but I'm just conscious of the time.
Sure.
Can that be made public?
Under condition 10 of the approval, the findings of the independent review must be published on the proponent's website by the proponent. It's the standard practice of the department with management plans and things of this nature that the proponent would publish those on their website.
Right, and they still haven't done so, and it's been almost 2 months. Is the department doing anything to ask them to hurry up, or can the department put it on its own website?
The department wouldn't put it on its own website, Senator. In terms of the timing of the publication, condition 10 does not specify a time frame for the publication of that report.
So if it's an independent review, why is it up to the proponent to publish it on the proponent's website?
It was up to the proponent under the condition to commission the independent review and have it taken out.
Doesn't sound very independent to me.
The reviewer was required to be approved by the department prior to the review taking place, Senator. Okay,
but you can't publish the report.
The department is continuing to undertake its consideration of the report at this time.
Okay. So thanks, Chair. There's been a number of other reports, including by probably a properly independent ecologist, John Hunter, who found that there's actually only less than 5% of the relevant ecological community in the offsets. Would a project which wipes out hundreds of hectares of nationally significant habitat normally meet the department's offsets policy?
Senator, the offsets policy would take a ecological calculation of the residual impact after having looked at avoidance and mitigation options and taking a look at what's left in terms of that impact and then compare that against what's proposed in terms of an offset. So as long as the offset is sufficiently robust to deal with whatever the residual impact is, then that would meet the intent of the offsets policy.
Sure, and I would suggest that 5% isn't robust, but that brings me to my next question. How close is the department to finalising its investigation into whether it was misled about those very offsets?
So, Senator, that would sit in my area, and we spoke about this one previously. We had hoped to have this matter resolved by now. As you're aware, criminal matters can take some time, and this is a serious one for us to investigate. We've recently received the new information that you just spoke about from the Northern Inland Council for the Environment, and we're also looking at the results of the independent review. We won't be able to finalise our investigation until we've fully considered those two reports.
Okay, that's good to know that you are examining all of those reports. Are you conducting any of your own on-ground investigations?
We wouldn't do any on-ground investigations. If we went through those reports and there was sufficient cause for concern, we might go and get those reports peer-reviewed by an independent, a purely independent authority from a university or someone like that, to give us some idea about the veracity of the information in each of the reports. Okay,
and do we have a time frame on when we can expect the finalisation of your investigation?
As I've said previously, it depends on the number of investigations and the timelines associated with those other investigations. We would hope to get it resolved within a matter of months.
Okay, great. And lastly, apparently on the 4th of November, some of the traditional owners submitted emergency applications for the protection of heritage sites that would be affected by that coal mine. And my understanding is, as at a few days ago, those applications still had not been processed. And I also understand that sadly on the 10th of February there was some evidence with aerial photographs that the sites identified in the applications had been bulldozed. Is the department aware of that? What's taking so long and what can be done to stop any further destruction of these sites before they're even assessed?
Senator, if you're referring to the application under the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders Heritage Protection Act, that is managed by a different area of the department. If I can just swing round and check if they're here.
Thank you.
They're not here at the moment. But as you'd be aware, the administration of that Act requires extensive recourse to natural justice for all of the parties involved, which can unfortunately in some cases result in quite a delay in the administration of the Act.
Doesn't seem like there's much natural justice if the site's been bulldozed already. When can I re-ask those questions? What session does that fall in?
We can take that question on notice. It's covered by the heritage area that we will...
Which is 5.1. Okay, all right, thank you. I'll put those in on notice.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chair. I have many more.